This is Rob Magick Magazine, and I would like to talk about magic, because the way I perform magic is you've got magic itself, which is a real force in the world, and then you have a lot of these beings, which a lot of them are classed as deities at 1% of the time, gods and goddesses. I class them as magical beings. Now, this brings us with different ways of seeing it. Is magic just a force, or is it in actual fact a deity? If we think magic is a deity, that means made up of our own will, our own thoughts, manifests an actual deity. That means that all these other beings are basically devils, demons, spirits, but lower down. And then we have the monotheistic way of seeing the world, of one God. However, if we view magic as merely a force, right, then we can view all of these other entities as separate gods and goddesses, in which case we have the pagan view of the world. But we can also have the view of the world that none of these things are deities, and that all we've got is forces and a lot of different types of beings. And that is, I suppose, in many ways approximates or is the atheistic view of the world. Not many people's atheistic view of the world, granted, but we've got that idea there straight away. And what we've got is the three different views of the world that many people have, represented within a system of magic. People argue and have died for, is this God, that God, is there one God, are there many gods? And if we look at occultism, we find it's all represented there, and we find that none of the views are actually completely wrong or completely right. What you've got is just people arguing about different things and just trying to make sense of it. And I feel, because of that, the best way of seeing things is the occult way. That's my personal view, rather than most religions, because they're arguing about elements of things that is a simplification. If you look at these entities, you say, okay, we're going to judge them for what they actually are. You don't have to think of them, guess whether this is this or that, because you don't. It's like a friend. If you have a friend called Bob, you don't have to classify Bob because it's Bob. And that's the same thing. But it's interesting that the things that people fight over is represented within occultism. And that you don't actually have to choose. You don't have to say, is it this or that or the other. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter to me that much, because it's all represented within the view of the world and all represented within occultism.